This is Sky with FNN-Feminist News Network, the feminist news that's right for you. Welcome to Sky in the Rainbow Room at night. All right, bringing you that soulful, independent news you need, indeed. Thanks for sharing, and thanks for subscribing. And if you haven't, please do. All right, so what do I want to talk to you about today? Cyntoia Brown being released come August the 7th, as she has now been commuted of her sentence by outgoing Governor Republican Bill Haslam as a last thing that he's gonna do as a yoo-hoo to them. All right, now this is a good thing that he's doing. Now, he has not pardoned her, which would give her a full release where she could go back to voting and being able to travel. And but no, she did murder. So if you know your sentences and everything else, that's 10 years probation. And it's restricted. And you cannot go many places, do many things, and travel too far. So if she does write a book or does a deal or something like this, she must have special permission each and every time for the next 10 years. And at the beginning of that, she will be released into a boarding house, then released after that, because she has to have a stable place to go to afterwards. So it's still going to be a struggle for this woman. And like many that are out there, there are plenty Cyntoia Browns. I want you to know this right now. And with the type of campaign that Miriam Kaba is doing with her Survivor campaign, you know, we need to spread this all around. We got one good organization that are helping women of color, but I would love to see more and have a branch of this in every state. I'm glad that Rihanna jumped into it in 2017 and had Kim, because Kim was very successful at getting a federal inmate released, as we well know, this previous summer. So let's see more Cyntoia Brown's release. But just to let you know what I'm talking about, I'm going to take a look at Democracy Now!, who talked to Miriam Kaba, that is ongoing with helping a lot of women that are victims of killing somebody because they were treated as an adult or mistreated as a black woman, being told that they weren't really abused, they weren't really in harm's way, they weren't really threatened. Yeah, that's how we're treated, which is ugly, and it's defeat us. So let's take a look at this, then discuss, because she has some really good stuff to say. Yeah, exactly. I know you want to hear it. All right, let's take a look.
Who on Monday was granted full clemency by Republican Tennessee Governor Bill Haslam after serving 15 years in prison. The decision follows months of intense public pressure and outrage over her case. Brown was sentenced to life in prison after being convicted of first-degree murder for shooting her rapist as a teenager. She had been sexually trafficked, repeatedly abused, and drugged. The shooting happened when Brown was just 16 years old, but she was tried as an adult. This is Cyntoia Brown speaking at her clemency hearing in May.
It's been a very long time, and when I was 16, I did a horrible thing. And I have carried that with me this whole time. You always hear people say, like, if I I could go back and if I could change things. But when you really realize that you've done something you can't undo, like, it stays with you. And it stayed with me this whole time. And I'm still going to try to help people. I still am. Because it's something that people need to understand. It's something people need to know. There's so many things that I understand now that I didn't know. And there's so many young people that still don't know. And I can assure each and every one of you that if you do, like, I won't disappoint you. I'm not going to let you down.
Cyntoia Brown. Her attorney, Houston Gordon, addressed reporters shortly after Brown was granted clemency Monday.
Her story, though, is a story that should be a catalyst for a lot of others, thousands of other juveniles. We need to see this as a national awakening to change the draconian laws that allow juveniles, children, to be placed in adult prisons.
She's now 30 years old, set to be released in August. For more, we're joined by Mariam Kaba, organizer and educator who's worked on anti-domestic violence programs as well as anti-incarceration and racial justice programs since the late 80s. She's the co-founder of Survived and Punished, an organization that supports survivors of violence who've been criminalized for defending themselves, a board member of Critical Resistance.
You know, kind of make sure people understand that this didn't come out of nowhere and that people have been fighting on her behalf for almost as long as she's been incarcerated. Most people actually still thought she was 16, and most people also thought it had just happened. And she ends up in a situation where she has got to figure out if she's going to, you know, potentially put herself at risk of dying, or if she's going to take action. She chooses to take action, she's punished for it. So she's punished basically for survival. Black people in this country have traditionally, historically, been punished for any perceived transgression, and punished more excessively than white people. We have a mass incarceration problem in this country that basically also sweeps in a bunch of poor white people. So, while black people are disproportionately targeted by the system, white people are pulled into the system as well. So what we have is a mass criminalization and mass incarceration problem. I think we're going to have to do some work to dismantle those things.
I know that's right. She said it and she meant it. You know, prisons are not feminists because they do harm the women that were the victims. And to criminalize victims are wrong. She had so many good points in there, you know. And see, this is the thing. Black women have been disvalued, decriminalized. Black women have been disvalued and criminalized since the time of slavery. And it's horrible the way they're treated. And she talked about a article she wrote for The Intercept about a woman in 1855 that tried to defend herself against being raped and defending herself to owner and was told that she was property and didn't have the right to defend herself. This is how we're still treated in 2019. And this is well known and well seen, and it's still going on. Like I said, there's thousands upon thousands of Cyntoia Browns. And good thing with the Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter, and all the women that are running these campaigns, and the Mute R. Kelly campaign, and the also the Black Vote Matters. These are organizations built up by women that are trying to let you understand that this strong black woman persona is not carried on after we've been abused and neglected and mistreated. We are vulnerable also. And we shouldn't be looked upon as the predators when we are trying to defend ourselves. When we know if it was a man or a white man or Trayvon Martin defending his I mean, if it was Zimmerman trying to defend himself, he'd get to stand his ground. But we don't. And there's something wrong with that. And I'm glad there's a push for change. And just like the attorney Houston said, this should be a catalyst and a drop that has created the last full drop to make the wave of change. And if you agree with me, leave comments below and say so. And if you want to contact me, give me ideas, or be a reporter when I go to DC. Now that the word is out, you know I get to visit Telsey the last week of February, and I would appreciate it if you could help me out. You can contact me at FeministNewsN@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Feminist News Network, and the Facebook page of the same name. And don't forget, I still got like Feminist News tees. If you want one, yes indeed. Good for all year round. I know that's right. And thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. And I appreciate you. All right. Take care.